Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight, our topic is going to be discussed in a minute. First, let me cut off Facebook real quick. Let me tell you something. First of all, somebody gonna report our show from last week saying they had nudity in it. If you a mistress, just say so. Hold on.
What?
Girl, I don't be on Facebook like that. Yes, we starting with an update because that's where we starting. That's how good girlfriends start when they walk in the room. Bitch, let me tell you, girl, what? Yes. So I was like, when I saw
Did
nudity
somebody
and whatnot, I was like,
chest come out or something? I don't know.
I looked. I didn't see. No. Shut up, bro.
The last show that you guys did?
The show we all did.
Girl.
Our show. No, it wasn't that. So this is what happened. I logged in because I hadn't been in a while and somebody said they sent me something. So I was like, okay, let me quit tripping. I've been focused mainly on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook play too much. And I just don't have the time. I really don't. So anywho, I log in and the first thing I see is you got a strike for blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, oh, they went through old content. Maybe it was a meme or something like that. Then when they said it was Divine Purpose. Plug for my nonprofit. I'm a whole good heart. Then it said it was Melanin Madam. And I was like, I was doing a show at that time. I wasn't even on here, blah, blah, blah. So I hit the button. They finally got one now where you can dispute it right away. And they disputed it and took it away. But they had took the video down, all kind of stuff. But they wouldn't even show me what it was. So I couldn't see even know nothing. Right. So I was like, you know what? All it has to do with is people just don't like to hear, maybe, some people have to hear about the men they thought was theirs. I don't know.
Don't try to cancel us. Don't try to cancel us.
Don't be hating on us. We was here talking about ourselves. If it happened to include the men you still know love us, honey, we can't do nothing for you.
My mama always told me if the shoe fit. You know what? I was listening to something and it was saying like,
oh my gosh.
People are like real honest and you get upset. It's like you handle it in two ways, and a lot of people get upset is because they actually can relate to what a person is saying, or that's the truth about them and they don't want to face that truth.
Okay, sis. Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, because reality is most things that we hear don't sound good. Anyway, I'm Melanin, that's Rose, and this is my sister Danny. So anyway, most things that people say, it don't feel good, especially when a head dog go holler, stop doing doggish shit. Now that's a story for another day. That was a good one. But anyway, stop doing it. But if you are gonna do it, I promise you, I used to think it was cameras in my house too that I didn't put there and people was gonna know what I did. It's not, I promise. So when you get called out in private, deal with it in private, make your amends, do whatever you need to do. But by all means, stop attacking people. Like y'all want to go straight to comments, straight to doing stuff. You just adding the devil to a devil, you devil. Anyway, I'm just saying. But the show tonight ain't about us, child. It's about men on this evening. So the show is, Dear Black Men, Why Do You Hate Us? However, out of respect, first of all, Rose wrote notes, so we should get a little less.
It ain't that many notes. I really had to do my homework on this because I tried to tell some of my guy friends, like, could y'all please watch so y'all can give us an insight on what, because it's really girls that comment on it. Like, we're still women, so we don't know why. We need some guys on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why the perspective that we're going to be talking about is going to be respectful. It's a pickup from where we ended last week, and it's just going to be the things that hurt us. So it's not necessarily that is the topic, but we're not answering the question because I'm a whole woman. I'm just saying, I don't know. I just
wanted to see why. I wanted to Google and see why.
It's kind of an education thing, like, hey, this is how we feel on our end. So
right. So tell us.
You should make
exactly
where it's like nothing but men and let them respond.
Exactly. Cool. Exactly. So I reached out to some males too to remind them about the topic for tonight and see if they could tap in. A couple are going to see if they can join. If they can't, they'll for sure try to be in the comments. And then if not, I already know that this topic we have is scheduled to roll into next week. So we're going to do like we did last week and do round table. And since you've heard enough of my voice, we are going to start with, well, Rose got notes this week. I'm ready to hear. So we're going to start. So we're going to start with Rose. Here's the rule, though. Here's the rule. Okay. One thing I want to call out. When we used to say to men, you did this, you guys said we're supposed to say, I feel like this. Lately, I've been sitting in the comments and shit. Y'all talking about what y'all feel. You're not saying it's facts. First of all, bipolar, make up your mind. We're going to go from the most respective route, which is, this is what happened to me, and it made me feel like this. So we're not saying you, hopefully, you blacked out at the moment you did what you did.
We're not saying all men, we just
right. Thank you.
Let's not act like it's not there. Some of y'all got
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Well, this was a poll, so not all men do this. These were men, right? These were men that took a poll.
So Rose said.
Okay, one of them was, it said that we don't seem like we want to have fun. That was one thing. So when they asked deeper into that, what is, it seems like we don't want to have fun. Like, when we first start dating, we'll do fun stuff, but then when we get deep into the relationship, we don't want to do nothing. We worried about home and work and all that. They still want to have fun with their mate. So that's one reason. It seemed like to them, other races like to have fun all the time. That was one. So what is your take on that?
I mean, it depends. At the end of the day, I think everybody's relationship, or marriage, I can say, it gets boring, and you always have to keep it interesting, because you got to think about it. You with the person day in, day out. Like, you're going to get bored sometimes. Like, so, I mean, what you want me to do? You want me to swing off the chandeliers? As long as it ain't, I have a saying, as long as it ain't going to kill me, I'm all for it. I don't care about the whole, like, I can go hiking. We can do all these things. What do you want to play? You want to role play? What, let's just, if there's it all has to do with communication. But I can understand it, because a lot of times we have this stereotype of like, oh, Black women don't want to go swimming because they don't want to get their hair wet, or
get their makeup,
or they don't want to spray their makeup, or they don't want to go hiking. But what I started looking at is that we lose out on so much by just doing that to ourselves. You understand?
Agreed.
Like, girl, plan a whole, you want to plan a swim day? Let me take
Agreed.
Because at the end of the day, you got hair. It's just that we choose not to do it and straighten it and do all that crazy.
Girl, you better put that wet and wavy in.
Can I ask
put the wet and wavy in and get in the pool? Put the wet and wavy in.
So real quick, are either of you like that with that particular example?
No, I like going to have fun.
I'm not like
I like. As long as it don't kill me, I'm all for it.
I'm like that as well.
I like going out to have fun. I don't even want to date nobody that don't like to have fun. I like going out to have fun. So I'm not going to be the one that want to stay at home. I don't want to stay at home. I want to go out and have fun.
You can even make home fun. Like, let's be silly.
You can.
Let's make a fort in the living room and be ridiculous. Like, like, why? Let's just have fun. Like, who says that the fun got to die down?
Right.
Here's what I'll say. The last two men that I dated, and I'm only going off of them, and when I married, what they wanted is not what they said out of their mouth. That's what I'll say. Because
they probably be scared to say it.
I don't care. We're not making excuses. I'm saying how I feel and my experience. My experience was they didn't say it out of their mouth. If you don't say it, if you don't give a hint, if you don't do any of that, especially with women like you and I, Ro, we're moving so fast, and most people are right now moving so fast, and we talked about that you don't pick up on signs or maybe a hint that was dropped. If we could get out of this culture of dropping hints, or because we have a national advertisement of Instagram where what you want from your partner, you're seeing somebody say that they take it from the back. They do this, they do that. They're already out there promoting it. They'll go talk to that person because the likelihood of being rejected is a little less. Why don't you try that in your own relationship? Because here's the thing. As Black women, I know I was looking for in marriage, and my last relationship was, hey, Hilda, my last relationship, I was looking for excitement. I was tired of being the breadwinner, the head of the household. I wanted those things. I didn't need nobody to come in and take care of me. I needed somebody to come in and care for me. Those are different things. So if you offer, if you ask, if you have those things, bring them to the table. Are you asking for those things? And are you asking in the right place? Are you asking after she just had the kids all day, worked all day, cleaned up, and you waiting for her to get in bed? Or did you make sure that was set up for her so y'all can do things, sneak things in every day?
That's why I said that's why I said that you need to date, still date, and you can plan a date every week. So
bro, this is every day. I don't want to date. That's the thing. I don't like going outside. I'm an introvert.
No. I'm just saying make a date for you guys that
we
you know you're gonna spend. Yeah, like that. Make sure it's every time. Like, don't never skip on it. So,
but that's not what they're saying. They're saying they want the spontaneous part. The spontaneous part with Black women is different. We talk about this all the time, and that's where I say, do you really love us? Because you're not listening. We don't have the same luxury to wake up and say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do today? No, we waking up with, okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. I can't fail. I can't make a mistake. I can't do this with him. I got to keep quiet. Don't tell my girlfriends too much. My business stay inside my house. Don't tell my mama too much. Then when I get to work, I got to do this. My boss is making me do her work. Our brain don't get to relax, bro. We're not born with the luxury of being able to live in our freedom. That's where it's supposed to be in our relationship. And if they don't give that to us, we're not going to let our guard down because we don't trust that space either. Sometimes they look at us, and I've heard those particular men that I'm talking about, my husband and my ex, say, ugh, that's nasty when they do that. Ugh, I can't believe they did that. And on the back end, I'd be like, what did I just see in your phone?
Right.
Like, what just happened? Because I've been wanting to do that, but you said it was nasty, so I took it out of my head. I'm just saying, I want to do some nasty shit too. Like, but you said you didn't want it, and I'm okay with turning it off. We don't have to turn. We could turn things off. They can't and don't, and then hold us accountable. So next caller. But the answer for that is all of us said that we are open. That's generally most Black women are. So give us a chance and offer some of those things.
Yeah,
maybe some women don't take it from A to Z though.
Don't assume, ask.
Yeah, just ask. And don't ask, I wonder if, or did you see what such and such did? No, ask a direct question, because that has happened to me before too. I saw such and such, and I'd be like, oh, that didn't make no sense. And then the person was like, well, you said it didn't make no sense. For them, I didn't know you were talking about us. I mean, for us, it's different.
Okay, the next one was we look like we don't want to be bothered. Like if we're at work or we're in the grocery store, it just look like we don't want to be bothered. We looking at them with the stank face. That's another reason why Black men say, well, some Black men, let me say it correctly. The Black men that took this poll. Yeah, let me say it again though. The Black men that took this poll.
I can speak on that, and it took me a minute to learn, right? And a lot of it has to do with how you feel in here. And the reason why I say that was because there would be times like when I lived in Georgia, right? And I would talk to my mom, and she'd be like, "Danny, you always like got this frown right here, like like you're stressed,
arrested bitch face,
like all the time, like it was permanent, right?" But to me, it was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's my natural look, not knowing that sometimes, like, you have to look for a long time. We were masked, right? So when you were smiling at people, there were no way for anybody to tell that you were smiling at them except through the eyes.
Unless you had high cheekbones.
So if I look how I look now, if I'm looking at you like this all the time, you're going to be like, you know what I'm trying to say? And that's where I had to really, like, understand that, because I used to get so offended. Like when you be like, what do you mean? Like we look like we don't want to be bothered. Like nobody walks around fucking cheesing 24/7 like it just sunshine and flowers outside. But then over time it's like, okay, it's just all in here. Like, does your face look relaxed? Like, what's going on? Like there's a way to do it.
But Danny, maybe that goes back to the last one too. Maybe our face isn't relaxed because our life isn't relaxed.
That's why
you as a Black man should know that. How come we know that you're in? How come we know so many of their cues, but they don't know ours? And it's crazy that this one comes up. Hilda, I do too. I was at dinner on Sunday with with Queen, and we was in LA, and this guy was trying to tell us what particular door to take, and I turned around. Now y'all know it was windy on Sunday. I turned around and I was kind of squinting because I couldn't see, and he told us to take another door, and I was like, oh, thank you. And then he responded with, I mean, I'm not trying to hit on y'all, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, huh? And he kept saying that, and I was like, can he hear me? Like, you're not even listening. You was already prepared for me to say something different, because I legit responded right away and said thank you. And 3 more times he repeated the same thing, to the point where I said, wait, I said thank you. Can you hear me? I didn't say, like, me and her laughed at it, but walking away, I was like, that's not fair that keeps happening to us. And so many of us have said that's not it. So if it's not, what's the worst thing you trying? You're willing to try with another race. You're willing to break down their door, get their family to accept your skin, do all of this stuff, but you can't even speak to us? That doesn't even make any sense. That's not right. You doing us like everybody else that says we're aggressive versus we're passionate. How come we know how to turn it around for you, so your safe space is with us, but ours isn't with you? And that's where this topic comes from. You already said it started at our face. How fair is that? That's not right. We already know what that looks like. Now, some of them, child, they crazy, but that's everybody. And for the ones that's crazy, tell them, girl, you crazy. You should calm down. You can say it better than anybody else. I can guarantee you that. Just saying. Oh, yeah. So my resting bitch face, child, I got a picture on my desk when I was a baby, and it's like this.
Right? Girl.
It just, So that, but I can understand. I can really understand that one. Like, but that shouldn't be a reason. The next one is we don't offer enough support. So, like, if we're in a relationship, we're not a good
Let me
support.
bitch. Excuse me.
Wait, Rosie. How much support are we talking?
Let me light my sage. I knew this shit was gonna happen.
We don't offer enough support.
What do you want? Our uterus?
I mean, like,
you got that too.
I'm saying, what's the support? Like, the support is if you don't have to work and I pay all the bills and all.
See, that's what I'm saying. We probably just don't understand their. But we probably just don't understand their mind. You know, they think all the way different than us. Right. So them saying support, we would have, like, that's why I said I wish men would comment on it so we can really understand. What do you mean?
I call bullshit. That's bullshit.
Like, if you told me
everything they ask us to do, we do it. That's why it takes so long for us to know who the hell we are. Because everything we do is don't do this, don't do that, tiptoe around them. Who's the girl? Us or them? That's why we so damn aggressive. And that I said with an attitude.
Support does come in a lot of ways, and you have to know going over time of being married.
Then tell us what you need.
And watching somebody come into, become into who they are now. There was a lot of changes, and I supported. Oh, you said you want to work at Walmart today? All right, baby. You said
thank you.
Quit that job.
Change like the wind.
Okay, baby. Like, you know what I mean? How much support can I give you? Like, at the end of the day, and that's where it needs to be broken down. Like, where is the lacking?
What do they mean? Yeah, what kind of support what kind of support do you need? Like,
they want us to support them like their mamas with no accountability. If they wake up and take out the trash, we say, oh my gosh, you took out the trash.
But it's not that, but it'll be stupid stuff like
no, it is some of them like that.
I'm telling you, I bet you it's stupid stuff that we think would
bro. You have like cheating, right? Now, if you got me in a mansion, right, and I got where my finger is heavy, it's heavy. I can't even lift it right. It's so heavy. Like this. I mean, if you want to go do Jenny, Jennifer, and Heather and all of them, and I ain't got to pay no bills and all that like they do, keep them, then go ahead. How about on the outside with the cameras? I'm a whole trophy wife. Like, yes, we got the best relationship ever. But what you're not going to do is expect that type of treatment, and I'm paying all the bills. I'm cooking. I'm taking care of kids. I'm supporting your changes. So where does the
come on? They want to go to work and that's it. That's why I said they want credit for doing regular stuff. Let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. I know a couple of males, a couple of them that have never signed a lease on their own. That means you haven't paid bills. That means you haven't done none of that. And they are fathers and they are older and they walk around with their chest poked out and they do all of those things. But you want to tell me that you are not being supported. No, the problem is that you was overly supported and failed to launch. Your mother did something your woman is not going to do. Your woman wants a man. Your mother wanted to baby you, probably because that check was enough for her to bring it to the household, like back in Africa. Let me tell you what's not enough for us. You don't have to do what I do. I swear you don't. I'm not dating anybody who makes what I make, and I've dated people that made more. The support for me was in hearing what they said and applying it, but also hearing what you say and say, I see more out of you. I want more from you. It's okay for me to say that. If you could tell me I should learn how to hang from the chandelier without breaking it, how come I can't tell you, why don't you do more? Overtime wouldn't hurt you. A second job wouldn't hurt you. Stop having so many kids. How come? You just don't want to hear accountability from us. And if that's the case, then I'm okay with you going with Becky. I am.
But
you can go.
That is true. Or we're not going to live in a car. And I mean,
no.
The thing, like,
we will be broke with them eating cup of noodles, like I said, and be like, that is the best cup of noodles ever.
I'll see, and no offense at all, God knows I'm not trying to offend anyone, but sometimes you'll see like the point where like there's people like, hey, they'll have a different race and they're like sleeping in cars or they're walking, pushing cars with a whole nother race. And it's like, buddy, like we're not about to get down to that. Like I refuse to let myself get down to that point. We much stronger than that. So at some point, that would be what it shouldn't matter whether it's man or woman. At some point, you have to let go. Like we lost everything. Now we
have such a poverty mindset.
That's not strong enough. I get it. So it's like
because those two people are not good for each other, by the way.
I'm not supporting you like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to support down there. You have to call me whatever the fuck you want. But
no, that's just not for me. But in those same men that want to be supported, I know a couple in real life that want to be supported. But the way that they talk, their expectations, the way that they treat, and it's like,
that's
wait, what? It doesn't balance. That's not nice.
Exactly. I think that way that we get talked to, the expectations, like, it's just so much.
They expect us to shut up.
Yeah, they expect us to shut up and then oh, but it's okay. You messed up this time. You messed up 1,000,000 times, but you can mess up again. It's okay. But like I said, I'm in my older years, I'm trying to listen more because sometimes they do say that it be little things. That's why I'm saying I wish men would chime in.
I try to listen for the little things.
Yeah, because it be little stupid shit that they want us to do, and then we be like,
it's not stupid. Some of the little stuff I love, but listen, honey.
No, but I'm saying it be stupid to us, and it be stupid to us, and we be like,
wait, I heard it. I think this is what you was trying to tell me. Tell me again, so I can apply it.
It be stupid to us, but to them it be big, and we be like, this is what you was tripping off of, like. So that's what I'm saying when they say encouraging. It could be something little because most Black women do encourage that man. It ain't like we like, oh, you sorry, whoop whoop whoop. Because why are we going to be with you then?
But we have to be realistic. We are going to
encourage you.
Exactly. I want to take a poll on women. How many of the ones that have heard? Gratefully, I haven't heard that. I've been with some really ambitious people, but I've heard it before. They don't support me, and my thing is, okay, me as an example, us as an example, right? We're starting in this space, but I didn't quit my job and go full throttle because this space with my production company, I could be at BBW events, hosting stuff, all of that, but it don't pay nowhere near what I make. And I just take myself and throw myself into that while wanting a family after X amount of years. Hell, even the government says you're supposed to be making certain, you can't take a loss on your taxes. So how many years is she supposed to keep supporting you being a rap artist? Because that costs money. Now, if you bought the equipment and you was doing it from home, you do it whenever you want to, when you get off work. But you guys, men to me, want to stop the clock. They don't understand that. Yeah. They don't want to do two things. They want to be over here with their friends, looking cute, be at everything, be ready to go on the go for that. But you don't want to work. But you're talking to girls, women that have worked 2 jobs and gone to school that are making it all happen, plus you. And then you want to tell us you can only work a job and complain. I'm trying to help you not complain. if that's what support looks like, because I'm not working my ass off for you to live your dream that's forever. No, that's not, Black people don't get that.
And then when you do make it be like, what was that Tyler Perry movie?
Girl,
what's the name of that movie when she
Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
No, with Taraji Henson.
Oh, acrimony.
Yeah. That's what it was.
But see, she messed up at the end. And so that's a good one, bro.
But she still took care of him
and he paid her back. The point is,
he didn't pay her back, but he still
is stop when you get to that point. That's the only thing I was going to say with that. When you get to the point where you can't do no more, or you have your heart stops, that goes back to what Danielle said last week. Make sure you know what you don't want. Like the putting up the house was probably too much for her. It's certain things that it's going to be a hard stop. And I know it doesn't feel good when they get mad at us because of how they treat us, because they go off, they throw tantrums, they're mean to us, they cheat, they treat us like we're the enemy if you say no. That's one of the things that hurts me. But if that's your hard stop, I don't think you should keep going, because then it starts to really just, I don't think it could come back after that. And then you still feel like you owed forever from that person because they put you through hell, and they did, because it's not right. Whether somebody lets you or not, they're your spouse and they're supporting you. They're doing what they're supposed to. And then later you throw it back in their face. That's not cool.
Right.
Okay. The next one was sexually, we don't want to do everything. This kind of go into last week, but they're saying sexually we don't want to do everything. So that's another reason. And that one I kind of, I don't know. I don't really believe that, because it's a lot of Black women that do a lot of things.
We answered that in question 1.
That's true. Like, or a lot of stuff can play in it. I mean, girl, I don't know. I mean, I don't have no. I mean,
it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. I personally still go back to what we said last week. If it's some old disrespectful, trifling stuff, and you know dang well it is, then do that while you're single. Because no, it's some things that are a no for me. But everything in relation to sex is always for the woman. You talking about, the back door and stuff like that. Well, I'm like, who was that? Courtney? I'm like, Courtney, come on, thank you, Hilda. I'm like, what was that, Courtney? Yeah, Courtney started after Scott kept asking her, she said no. One day Scott came home and she was peeling the cucumber, and she was like, come here, Scott, let me try this on you. And he was like, what? Oh, but
hell
how?
Nah.
But how?
I think it'd be different stuff.
Why I can't try it on you? That's what turns me on.
I have asked different men. I have asked men this question for real, and they said like women. It could be sexually, but like I said, I think a lot of Black women do a lot of sexual things, but it be other stuff like coming to the man house with a trench coat on with lingerie, like stuff like that.
But maybe, okay, can we say, because you just said coming to the man's house with a trench coat on, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all know, what did I say? Before I got married, it's a list of things that I didn't do. And that was at the top of my list because I was saving that for my husband. I was coming in my own door. You can't tell me what to do while we dating. You do not get husband benefits.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
Things we want to save for our husbands, and you should appreciate that. As a woman, if you want those things, then get a wife. That's why so many of us are not wives. Because y'all
maybe that's why I'm not a wife, because I've done that before.
No, Ro, you do it. Why do you keep saying that? Stop saying
I just wanted to do that.
I'm telling you to stop saying that. That's something you wanted to do. It may be something on my list that I did that you want to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's certain stuff that I just wanted to do because I always seen that in movies, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So. Yeah, it's certain stuff like that. It's like that kind of stuff. I like that stuff. But I'm telling you, that be the stuff that they want, like girls coming like that, or coming in or wearing lingerie.
Here's the problem. All the way back to forever. The reason why we got married so much younger before is because you wasn't giving up your twat. You got married before because they wanted wife benefits. Everybody's doing everything now, and it's advertised on the internet. I suck dick. I do this.
Check this out.
You don't need to.
I was sleeping with you.
Hey, Regina, you know,
Boomerang.
you know.
Boomerang made us want to do that.
We sleeping for a minute, right? Well, I gotta keep limiting myself. Like maybe I find that type of shit interesting. So now I'm limiting myself.
So nigga, you holding me back? Could you propose already? Could we get married? I'm trying to move forward with my life. I got this list over here.
But I'm still saying, like, it's certain stuff that I like to do. But I'm saying, if I, the thing with me, a man can't make me do nothing. All the stuff I did is because
you want to do it.
Yeah, it's because I wanted to do that. But these are the things that men say women sexually. But that was a lot of stuff. Like I've asked men, and I'm telling you, they said that they said women don't like to dress up with lingerie and high heels, like just stuff like that.
Some
like, and to me. And some to me are like having sex on a balcony, all that nasty stuff.
I want all that, honey.
Yeah, all that stuff. I like doing all that stuff. So that's why I'm saying maybe I don't have anything to give to my husband because I done did a lot of shit except for having sex.
It's still gonna be different.
The husband twice. So
it's still gonna be different.
The only thing I haven't did was have sex in the anus. I'm not doing it. So maybe I'm saving that for my husband, and maybe not you either, husband.
We eye to eye. But all the laundry, like hell yeah. Every day I come to your house, I'm about to have a different.
I got a whole drawer and cabinet. Every man is different, Summer, but you can only be forever if that's your goal. You can only be with one man, and that's why I say you have two choices. And it's your choice. Some people make a list of all the things they want to do while they single in case they get with a motherfucker they don't want to do everything. Some women want to save it. It just depends, but there is no right or wrong answer.
I don't think it's a right or wrong answer either. And I don't think
I can't expect it from you. I can't tell you have to do these things.
I don't think that it's a right or wrong time to
Wait a minute.
That's the whole
what did they say? I just said that he ripped up and waste my money, you better. What does she mean? What do you mean, Hilda? He ripped it up. What do you mean he ripped it up?
Because this is what I used to think before, when we didn't make as much money, and y'all know who I dated before. Girl, before I get to the door, I wouldn't even feel like he saw me, and it. Sir, this is not the movies.
I remember my ex-husband telling me, I don't know why you wearing that. You're just gonna get ripped.
I'm telling you, every man is different, and that's why I say know what you want, because you get so mind fucked.
Yeah.
Now it's all kind of cheap places.
Bro, read the comments.
They be having crazy requests with no commitment. Right there. Yeah, I think it's who you marry. They want to live life like a rapper.
Right.
That's the part. I just feel like while you dating, you can't tell somebody what they have to do and what they don't have to do. Yeah, I think it's me married. Yeah. They get very excited, child, and they get to acting like the movies and shit. And if you really want your girl to wear those things, how she don't wear it if you bought it?
If you
what you mean?
No. That's the thing. You didn't buy it. Do y'all understand how much this stuff cost us? I'm with Hilda while you ripping it off, snatching out tracks, flipping off nails, eyelash up here.
Well, they need to reimburse you for that. Well, there's a lot of websites now, ladies.
It is.
There's a lot of websites now, ladies. You can go on and get cheap stuff. What is it? Shein, Fashion Nova, AliExpress, whatever the hell.
Start doing those things.
Some of the best lingerie for $20, no more than.
Yeah, it's too many websites now. You can go on and get your stuff for cheap.
Here's my question, though. I want either the people in the comment just say yes or no, and then those of us that are here for that particular one. How many have had a male come in and bring what they wanted? So if they wanted you to wear lingerie, they came in for a date. Let me finish, bro. I mean, you're so coochie. Girl, you're going to get a telling you. How many of you have been taken on a trip? How many of you have been put in a position to do some of the things you wanted to do because that environment allowed you to do it as well? Bro, your hand.
It depends what the things are. No. Any of those things you named, no.
Let me raise my feet. Can I raise my feet?
Okay. You can get my leg up here. So I have And then in those environments, if you have, did you completely let go and do things? And my answer is yes. So I would say, man, start having more conversations. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like at this age and the way things are now, conversations at least are more open. So when you go your first couple of dates, like start asking some of those questions. Then you'll know if the person is into those things, because sex is a big deal. That is, because that includes intimacy when you're in love. And if that's somebody who doesn't want to do half the things on your list, they're not going to be for you long term, because we're supposed to be dating with the purpose. So in all seriousness, I would say that, since people talk more, at least now, you know, back in the day, you didn't talk about it, you didn't do it. Like whatever you got is what you got. At least these days, let's leverage our resources and the things we know more responsibly. So just talk about it more. Because I
So y'all didn't ever, they didn't ever,
somebody who can't just do it. I don't like scheduled sex.
Oh yeah, that's not. I hate that. I hate. Yep. That's why I need to be in a whole.
I can't do it. I don't like it.
I hate that.
did everybody, did they comment and say if they've been in environments to where
I'm
the
going
men
right
have?
now.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Even matching bra and panties ain't cheap. Bras is expensive as heck.
Especially if you got big breasts, they're really
Girl,
expensive.
who you telling?
Girl,
I be making like
that was the next thing, especially if you got big tatas. Summer was the only one who answered, and she said yes. So my assumption would be, and nothing wrong with it. Well, it's nothing. Yeah, it is something. It's not okay. Summer was the only one who said yes. So that, men, is what I want you to pull out. Try some of those things when you talking, and don't ask your mama, because some of y'all mamas be hating because she's still waiting on glory.
My mama always told us the truth. My mama is a trip. Mommy told us so much so we would be like,
but I don't, bro, let me finish. Ask them what type of things you could do to bring back the romance, bring back the R&B stuff, bring back her wanting to do those things. Do you understand, as men, how much control you guys actually have over us? Y'all could talk to us and we'll need a whole new
but it's different. It's different now than it was back in the days with our parents. It's different now. Just think, the difference is social media. The men,
what do you mean?
To me, it's different back then with dating, marriage, and everything. Now, if your woman don't do nothing, you could literally go on social media, click a profile, go in somebody's message and do that. So that's why I'm saying your parents can't really tell you what to do to bring the romance back, because it was a different day.
Parents. I said not parents. I said no. I said go use your other resources, like other women, your homegirl. Yeah, no. See, Ro, this is what I say about you, February Aquarius. Is I said, so ask your parents. No, mommy is different.
Girl, I was about to, and to me, you can't even ask other people, because some other people be saying stuff that'll work for them and not necessarily work for you.
Well, if you ask me what will work for my good girlfriends, use your best judgment. If you know that you've been around, I know that Mark reached out to people for different things for me, not necessarily that he didn't have to, but for other things he did. So everybody don't have hating ass homegirls and stuff. So they'll actually tell them, like they'll be like, you know, they will. What I'm saying is use your resources, because a lot of y'all don't even know what a date is. You don't know how to pick up a girl. You don't know how to entice her. You just used to really sitting there watching Netflix, and then all of a sudden you just start.
And then think, if you take, just because you took a girl out to eat, they supposed to have sex with you. Like, how you did? I have a good time on a date or anything to make me want to do anything with you? Like, no. And you don't even got to do all of that.
Every woman's different. I'm turned on by laughing. I like to laugh the whole time, because guess what that does for me, especially after a long week? I get to relax. I get to feel calm. So now I'm in a different state, and I can hear different things that you're saying differently. You allow me to relax. So learn what people like. Ask the important questions. If the end goal is that you're trying to smash,
love languages. Love languages. Okay, here was another one. Basically, we want what we want. We don't settle. But I think that now that's another false statement, because to me, we settle more than men do. To me, I feel like we settle more than men do. A man really ain't gonna settle. They gonna say what they want in a
thing. That's why they cheat so much.
yeah. What you think they settle more than the women?
No, I'm saying they do not. That's why they cheat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They gonna go get somebody that cook the next day
exactly.
and
So they're saying that we don't settle. We want what we want. Oh, I want a dark skinned man that's 6'1", that makes 6 figures, that got to do with this and got to do that. We don't settle. So that's why they go for the other races, because they're willing to compromise. And I feel like now that I feel that is
they
false.
just love you because you're black.
So again,
I need an Excedrin.
That was another one. Another one is our friendliness is misunderstood. So, you know, like me, I talk to everybody. So somebody come mistake that as me flirting with the next man. When I'm like, oh, you look nice or whatever.
So
I'm just really saying. But that's another reason, because other races, I guess they don't do that.
The lies you tell, they walk around smiling at every damn body.
Do we supposed to be quiet and
you see it, sis?
Supposed to be like, hey, you know, like
you see it, sis?
Like I tell people good morning, like.
But that is insecure. To me, that is insecurity too. Like if you can't just talk.
Two double negatives as well. You just told us we have a resting bitch face. Then, like we have done, we tone it down to be regular and straight with everybody, especially if you got a ring on or you with somebody. Now you telling us we too friendly because now we went back to smiling more. Y'all just don't like us. Why?
I feel like everything has a limit. Like if I'm single, I can be hee hee ha ha. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
If I'm single, I'm probably not happy. No, I'm just playing.
That I want, right?
The lion.
But I can see if I'm in a relationship, like I'm not gonna versus just start off, you know, starting a conversation with maybe, you know, maybe you're just gonna approach things different. But it all depends. Like, I understand the insecurity part because I've been there. Like I've been to the point where you pull those to the drive-through and be like, hey, oh, you say hey to him? Like, nigga, I say hey to everybody.
Yeah, that's too much though.
So, like, well, you sound.
I need an example that makes sense.
Supposed to sound when I say the hey, you know. And
some of them don't want you to talk to nobody at all, but that's an insecure man. So
that's not nice. So we just supposed to be mean to people. Meanwhile, every time I went to dinner with either of my last two, I could be sitting there choking and they would ask the man I was with, oh, sir, would you like some water? I'm right here. Like one time I really had to flash on the airplane. And one time I flashed at the restaurant too. Like he is real married. Like you don't see me right here. Can I please get my water? You done served him his food, his water, his drink, and I'm still waiting on my water.
Oh yeah. Okay, and then another one was we put pressure on men. We put pressure on them. But I think that's because we want them to do better. Yeah, we want them to do better. We see the potential in them. So we're going to put the pressure on them. I don't know another race because, I mean, we're not another race. So I don't know how they deal with their men. But us Black women, we're going to do that because we see the potential in you. So, of course, we're going to put the pressure on you. I dated other
races and I didn't have to apply pressure. They walked in with pressure.
How I feel about
that part.
My Black men have been good. I will say that. All of them. I didn't need to apply pressure in that way. I won't take that from any of them.
Hi, Laura. I feel like some of the men that
go for other races don't like that their own race is strong and independent and go for that race that is less in control. And I don't know how to. So I think I love that when she comes on. Here's what I think. Like we talked about, a Caucasian woman can hold a Caucasian man more accountable because she knows what to look for, what it looks like, and when they bullshitting. A Mexican, each of us can, right? Each of us can in our own respective lanes. So we cross those lanes to be treated different. If I cross a lane to date the Caucasian males that I've dated, thought that I was amazing off top because I was Black. I knew it was absolutely because I was Black. It had nothing to do with me being better than anybody else. But I felt like wrestling for a minute. So I took advantage of that. The thing is, I wasn't willing to settle there. I always knew I wanted to marry Black. I wanted my kids by somebody Black. That was for me, though. But to take breaks, I did experience other races because it gave me a break. It wasn't somebody that knew how to call me out on something. They didn't see when I was bullshitting.
Now, see, like with Laura, Laura is Hispanic. Now,
Right.
us dating a Hispanic man, it would be all the way different because most of them, they don't have to work. Laura don't have to work if she don't want to. She work because she want to. So, but it's
A
still ways that
different
they
luxury,
expect.
like I said, right? She wakes up different.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And so if she don't want, if she don't have to work if she don't want to. Now, if we married a Hispanic man, they still gonna tell us probably we don't have to work, but they still gonna expect us to do things that are supposed to be done. They still gonna probably expect us to cook, clean, and
Yeah.
everything because that's the way they were raised. We wasn't, and we're not raised like that. You know, it's different.
No, we are raised like that. Just not.
I was raised like
We're
that.
I
raised
wasn't
like
raised
that,
like
just
that.
mostly not here because of the economy. But down south, there's a lot of women who
Yeah,
don't work.
like my
Other
grandma
countries,
was like that.
that's why I
My
say for
grandma
us,
didn't work,
I
but
don't think that, and I said it last week, each of us, sometimes we don't really think about how much is on for real a black man and for real a black woman. We do think across this way more than they think about us, though. We're so pulled from our culture. In our culture, it's the same way. Almost every culture is for the woman to stay home, birth the babies, mother earth, all of that. Because we are here and removed from our culture and our true roots, we don't have that luxury, but we still have those expectations. But everybody else carried their luxury because they came voluntarily. It's a little bit different, and it's not respected the same in those same cultures. What I do want to ask, because Laura is on in some of those other cultures, what I have seen is that they deal with other hardships like hands getting put on them and the expectation that they have to ask and things like that. We can't do that. I can't ask you if I could spend my check. I can't ask you if I can go out with my friends. I could tell you out of respect in advance, but I'm not doing those things. But you also didn't set me up to do those things. And I didn't get to grow up being made to feel like that. We're in a horrible disposition. It starts before we become adults. My husband was raised like that, but I told him since the beginning that I'm not dating. I'm not doing all that. We are going half on everything. Did she say she told him what she wanted? Did
My
she get what
mom
she
was like
wanted?
that.
Ah, nothing wrong with it. I don't know why we get so badgered like these women aren't saying the same things.
But they still treat them different.
That's what I'm saying. They get go for what you want. That's what I need black men to do. Go for what you want, but stop making decisions based on what you hate and fix it because it's more than likely inside of you. Just like we had to
I
figure
just
out
wish
those
they would
things.
talk to us. I wish they would just talk to us more because we're a lot of us are more understanding now. Like in the younger days, I don't think I was more as I don't think I was more. I don't know how to explain it. I
We
think
weren't
I'll
as
listen
receptive
to.
because we were culturally hurt. Number one, we're hurt because in our era, it was very much so light skin, exotic, meaning curly hair. You could look like not very good in the face, but as long as you were light skin, curly hair, depending on the body, a lot of us were already in a disposition of a disposition. We couldn't hear you because I'm so hurt. Do you care about me while you walking up telling me what you want? Like that's literally where we were. So
Yeah, and I didn't know. I didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up with a mom and dad in the house, so a man can't tell me like, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that." I didn't grow up seeing that. So a lot of women that do that is because they grew up seeing that. I didn't see my mama growing up cooking and cleaning for no man. She only did that for us. So that's probably the reason why I am the way I am now, because I didn't grow up seeing that. Not saying that if I
most of
did
us
get a
didn't
husband,
though.
huh?
Most of us didn't, but how come we only acknowledge when a man says, well, I never had a father, I didn't see one. But when we say, I didn't grow up in one either, so I don't know what that looks like. How come no concern is given for us
That's
or
true.
leverage to learn or you saying,
because
okay,
there's a
but I
difference.
know you didn't have it, so let me tell you what I want. We tell them what
Okay,
we want and then we talk too much. They don't tell us nothing and we should know everything. That's not
true.
fair. We all grew up the same without it.
But it's assumption on both ends. Just like how men
Mhm.
don't want us to assume that all men are the same. It happens on this end too. Just like
Yep.
like again, men assume that all Black women have attitudes, or that again we don't want to be bothered, like it was said, or we don't do it. It's so much,
Sure.
you know. You can't put everybody in one category at the end of the day. And sometimes it's how you approach, like sometimes all of the whole like I didn't learn thing or I didn't grow up that way. Now that you're older, it's an excuse because we've all lived
No,
life
yeah, that is.
and we all know that we're capable of doing it. Now it's just, do you want to do it? Like, yeah, I don't
Right.
expect, we're all human, right? So if my husband work and I work, I don't expect for him to do everything, go out there, change the oil, do this, you know, clean the yard. Where's his days of rest at? And if he gets sick,
Right.
you know, now I got to work double because he's down. So it has
Right.
to be a 50-50, you know, on the things that we do in the household. And that's the thing. I think a lot of young women now are getting portrayed of the whole like, oh, I just supposed to sit at home and be cute.
A
And I just
housewife, a trophy wife,
and
a trophy
Girl.
wife.
but you got to remember, grandparents didn't have no cute body. They had moo-moos on to make sure they would shower with baby
Honey, they
powder,
was in the
you know,
yard.
and they did whatever they supposed to do because none of that keeps a person. If a person want to be kept, they're going to stay at the end of the day. So I don't feel like I have to look a certain way to make you stay at home. I feel like we
Nope.
both supposed to be understand and support each other and grow. You know, I'm going to be here on your down times and you're going to be here on my down times on all those great things. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't expect for you to do everything. So don't assume that how they're putting it out there that every woman is like that, because I don't want you to do everything for me, because the last thing you about to
I
do is
don't.
control me or tell me and try to remind me, oh, I do A, B, and C. Absolutely not. You know,
Right.
But I think the difference is now is, like I said, I didn't grow up seeing that. But my thing is, if I was married and I had a husband that was, well, that's the only person I'm gonna marry anyways, a provider, a protector, a leader, and all that. I wouldn't mind cooking for you every day. That's the
right.
thing that they get. That's where they get us messed up
Right.
at. If you the Ben you're supposed to be, we do not
We get
mind
this
doing
sudden
that.
burst of
We'll
energy.
bend, yes,
Oh
Yeah.
we'll
no,
bend over backwards for you to
that's
do
true.
that. But that's the thing. Y'all not deserving of it.
And I no, that's true. I remember my ex-husband telling me that. He was like, it's like when I'm working, you're much nicer, but when I'm not working, you're a little bit mean. And the reason why it didn't start like that at first, it started getting like
Right.
that because we started doing a pattern. So I wanted you to understand my pattern. Hey, when you're
Come
working and
on.
making a little bit less than me, I'm willing to do everything and swing chandeliers for you. But what you're not going to do is talk to me
Keep playing.
disrespectful and expect all these things and then expect for me to still want to give those things to you.
It's
Whereas
like
the
they
most
give you
women
enough to
take
get
those
you
Or
to
if
things.
you
jumpstart
still,
again, and then they stop. And then they give you enough to jumpstart again,
No,
and then
I
they
tried
stop.
to show
Like
like,
we're
well, maybe,
stupid.
well, what is that telling you? Like a kid, hey, if you see that I'm being nicer to you and doing all the things you
That
want to
part.
do, then stay like that. Don't make it where I'm just doing
Right.
providing and doing
yeah,
everything.
I don't think black women don't have a problem with doing that. It's just that a lot of men don't deserve it now. And it's a
And
lot
we're
of
not in
good
a
black
position
men.
to do it.
Yeah, it's a
It
lot of good black men out there, but there a lot of good men, black men out there are scorned and bitter. So it's like we ain't gonna know who they are either. Just like they
Mhm.
saying we scorned and bitter, and that's why they don't like us because we not gonna know who they are either.
It's a lot, you know. It's just so much. It's just a lot of it has to do with the respect, you know.
and
We,
communication.
Communication. We said that last week. Communication is the number one key to everything.
it is
But that was one of the
communication and
things that
comprehension, making sure that person can comprehend what the hell you saying.
That part. And not coming with, that's why in the post that I made for this particular show, I started it with my expectation going into marriage. I didn't go into marriage considering all the benefits that came with Mark. I went into this marriage looking at, okay, can I deal with that? Can I deal with that? I think that's going to teach me a
You have
lesson.
to.
I thought about all the bad stuff because it was, if I can love him and still see him with my whole heart through these things, and that's the person I genuinely love. If something little irritates the shit out of me, that's not the person that I love. Because for the person you love, you'll bend over backwards and do anything.
hmm
That's the one that I chose. So
But
I
people
tried to
don't
see those
marry for
things.
love no more. People really don't
I
marry for
love them.
love no more.
I love them
No, I'm saying a lot of people don't marry for
But
love anymore.
because they don't want to get married. They want to have a
you got
wedding. And once the wedding and that all
that too,
that
but
Or
you also have to
dies
understand.
down.
they're married for
You also have
benefits.
yes. You also have to understand people's love too. You know, because I don't. I both times I got married like the old school way of going in like head over heels, all in love. but I wasn't getting those same things on this end. And then not only that, because of the type of households that we came from, the love was different, because the love that he received, you know, was different from the type of love that I received. You know, my mom was about, hey, no matter what was going on, she always took me, you know, out to eat here and there, or took me window shopping, or took me shopping. You know, I was the only child. We struggled, but she still made me have good times in between that. So that was a type of love, you know, that. So to me, it was like, regardless if we struggling or not, we still going to have some good times in between, you know, in between this, versus somebody else that comes from a household, maybe when they have hard times, they turn to drinking alcohol or something. So that person,
But
you know,
see,
there's a difference there.
Danny, I think that's why we're different. All of us. So I think that's why we're different. And thank you for sharing that story, because when I say that we didn't grow up with silver spoons in our mouths, like how we worked together as friends made it better, how our mothers was made it better.
Yeah.
This is what I mean, because we all still struggle, but the struggle wasn't what we got out of life. It was, know what you said, I spent time with my mom. I made memories. We did this, we did that. I bet you most of us have more stories to tell of how great we grew up, especially all knowing each other, just being with each other, plus our parents. We were fortunate not to grow up with abuse in the home and things like that. So even if it was only noodles, we didn't give a damn, because we still could play, have fun. They let us be kids too. That contributes to why we can be with men who don't have all those things they think they should have, and we don't care.
Right.
We just want to be happy. That's what matters the most to us.
Oh, yeah.
So there are women that are like that, but they don't get enough credit.
You don't have to. I don't expect a whole mansion house with 2 stories and all that. You know, I really don't. My whole thing is like, hey, are you there to support me, for us to have good times,
right?
For us to be comfortable and decent, know how to manage financially, know how to, when we come to a rock, like, instead of us beating each other up, do we know how to talk to each other? Do you know how to calm me down when I'm upset? Do you know how to listen to me when I get off work and I'm just rampaging? And do you know how to tell me to shut up, but not in a rude way? You know, all those different, like, even with me having children, no way do I expect for you to raise my kids or do anything of the sort. But we get serious, they don't have to call you dad if that's not what you want to be. Over time, maybe that'll happen. But do I go in expecting for you? Oh no, they got a whole day to raise them. I don't need that type of support. That's not the support that I need right there. You know,
I'm not looking to be saved.
So that's where it's just so much assumption that goes into us instead of the communication of asking. It's just people assume, you know, oh, they're all about money, or oh, they want this. Like, you know, maybe I like nice things, diamond rings and gold and stuff, not because,
but I bought it.
Realistic,
right?
My ass off taking care of 1,000 kids, and maybe this is the reward out of each check I get to my damn self at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that I expect for that next person to put me in all these luxury things because I'm doing it for myself. You get to understand, maybe some people are like that. Not everybody's the same, you know?
Right. And if that's how those women are, just don't go for those women. Go for the ones, but those women, I will tell you, man,
go for what you want.
Period. But if you're going for those women these days, I could tell you hands down, if you're going for somebody that's not into money, they are not going to look like they wake up every day thinking about money. They're going to own sweatsuits, wear buns. They're going to
just like this, because
period. Period. Because I don't have no pants. Okay, I threw on a shirt because I was really wearing pajamas.
That's when I'm over the top. That's what I look like one of the models off TV when I'm actually going somewhere with it. But I'm not about to wake up and roll over and out the bed.
If you with a woman who you saw on Instagram and every picture every day was them getting up, getting glammed up, they don't have nowhere to be. That you're dating, you're paying for what you're getting.
When I used to weave my hair every other day, my husband would be sitting right there on the side of me taking my hair down. I remember he was like, like a whole crackhead right now.
Right.
With that one little braid sticking up in the middle.
Right. Stop going for superficial if that's not what you want, because you picked him on some superficial shit and then didn't think you had to pay for it.
For you to understand how I look at all, how I look sick, how I look,
period.
When I wake up, like, if you're gonna like me, I need for you to like me for me, not for what's being presented on the outside, you know?
Right. Agreed. Okay. Ruh, next one, and who you rolling your eyes at?
Nobody. I'm looking at the TV. because I'm looking at the YouTube on TV, so it just looked like I'm rolling my eyes.
Okay.
I think that was it that I have, because the other ones kind of are like the same.
Okay. Well, those to me covered mostly
They covered
everything.
a lot.
Yes. So I'm good with. Oh wow. Our last. Now see, this is why I don't like to look at stuff while I'm on the phone. But it came to me. Our last video got a lot of hours watched. But it came through while I was doing that, so I had to click on it. I was like, is that a mistake?
That's why we got reported. Hell.
Haters. And I cut it right off.
Well, I wish you men would have commented on this to let us know what your feelings were on this. Like, we really, well, I know I really want to know. I like to hear men's insight on things, because it gives me another way to look at things, to know sometimes maybe I am doing something wrong. Like, just let me know. Right. But if you guys, like we said, if you don't tell us, we don't ever know.
So this is what I'm going to do, because all of the males that I reached out to, they did have something to do with, they do all watch the show. So I'm going to ask them between now and next week to look at the show. And I'm going to ask Ronnie, Tony, and Ron. You guys tell me if you have somebody different. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I do too. Okay, I'll do that too. Okay? I'll do that too.
And then we can send them the invite for the show. They can actually come on, and each of us will read one of the things that you said, but they will be the ones talking back, and all we will say is thank you, and how they can help us know, y'all do this, y'all do that. Just, okay, well, what would help us is if you would do this. That's it. But they get to talk.
Most of mine is at work, so I will probably just have to read their response.
Okay, that could be fine too. You could be their narrator. Or I
really want to know. I think it's a good thing for us women, single women, to know what we're possibly
any
doing
woman,
wrong.
Period, because they could be in a marriage and need some.
Exactly.
It does. It helps with the communication, because right now what's out there is like everybody wants the same thing, and it's so many people really like doing the most to their bodies and everything because they think, or what's being put out there, or what's portraying what men want. And the same thing goes for men. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like men don't do things to attract us, or try to change, or they do. They do. It's just not promoted as much, but they really do. So I'll never take that credit away, but we need to understand, because it's not social media is leading everybody all the wrong way,
So can I say something to the women? I want us to pay attention, because we're not as dumb as we look. And there are several people that, like that Derek guy, they're all making these videos, right? And every day they sitting there and they look very handsome, and they saying, ladies, if he did this, this means this. And men, you need to stop doing this, right? Those are men playing on our emotions. They live in their relationship just fine. They live in their relationship just fine. What they're doing is capitalizing on our hearts. And because a lot of us have been through those things, all that's doing is confirming and telling our hearts, you're not crazy. You really did go through it. So first of all, as a woman, I will say, we're not crazy. We did go through it. But pay attention. Has one of them said, ladies, this is how you can get this to happen? Have they said, men, they're not saying the reverse. They're playing on our heartstrings.
No. Derek Jackson have, and on Everything I Love, I don't like him because he was the main person that'll tell you what a woman should not take from a man, and he did the opposite to his wife. But I listened to one of his seminars, and he literally told you what you needed to do. It was actually the opposite, and he had a lot of good points.
So he was telling the truth.
Yes.
In his seminar, you said?
Huh?
In his seminar?
Yep.
But notice, like I said, it's not on those.
But he did the opposite, because he was cheating on his wife and everything with.
But even if he's doing the opposite, so let's go with the Bible with this. Let's go with the Bible with this. Everybody that was in the Bible wasn't a saint. They then turned a saint by doing better. So regardless to where it comes from, the truth comes, the best comes from the mouth of babies, all of that. If it's right, it's right. The point is, the ones that are shorts and things like that, to Rose's point, that's what I was getting to. pay attention to see if they have a longer something that makes sense, because a short just jumps in and jumps out and it gives you a little piece, but not the whole thing. Kind of like a scripture, but not the whole chapter. I say that to say it creates a spirit in you sometimes to finally hear that you're right, that you start to act a certain way and you're not receiving what you need to receive to then become a good woman. It just makes you more hard and stronger in being hard.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that to happen either. So understand some of these things are gimmicks to get people paid on social media. They're not doing it because they love you and they want better. They're doing it because they want money for them and their happy life. So don't let social media take over so much.
No, don't.
Take it enough to think about it maybe, or to start a conversation, but not in a way, he said this, so I know it's right. Stop rolling your neck. Stop doing all of that. Just talk with the voice that you would talk to a child with. I will say that, because your heart is still a child. So talk to your partner like that. If you real mad, wait till you're not mad, but don't pay attention to those things, because look how many there are. That's just another bandwagon, and that could be the devil's deceit, and it is. It's making all these strong, independent, I know what I got and I know what I'm worth. You're going to be worth singleization all the way to the epitome. I'm just saying, if you want to be in a relationship, you got to soften up a little bit. The next episode finna be it's finna be real juicy, because over here in these parts I'm gonna have to mute Roto. Yes, Latinas are known to be crazy. Let me tell you why. And we stand with you, okay? Because y'all are in the same boat with us a lot too. The Caucasian women that we see on TV and that I have known in real life, they literally get to wake up and say what they're gonna do for the day. So they're step different. They got a maid and a nanny and all of that. Your Hispanic man that allows you to stay at home, you work more than him. You got the kids, you cooking food from scratch, you doing clothes with your hand, you doing a lot. So yes, it is different. No, if you listen, Laura, okay, we see eye to eye, because we go through so much. Our level of anger when anything happens to us, like being cheated on, is how dare you, and we hit a different level. If you want to call that crazy and toxic, then I will call them the toxic mixers, because you made this girl do this. You shouldn't have did that to her. Don't compare me to somebody who woke up in bliss. Don't do that.
Well, I'm trying to get on the white ladies level. I want a nanny and a wake up.
I do too. Like and I ain't birthed no baby yet, and I want a nanny.
I want a nanny and to wake up.
What I'm saying is stop cross-culturing and comparing, because it's not the same. It's not. That I don't. That's why I love when she comments, because I like the Hispanic woman's point of view. I worked with so many, and girl, they was cooking from scratch and all kind of shit and working the same hours as me and going home and still doing this and doing that. And I was like,
no.
Well, where's your husband? Oh, he stays. A couple of them, he stays at home. Say what? Girl, no wonder you tired. You can't go out with us. You can't do this. You can't do that. I ain't mad, but everybody got their struggle. The rest of us got to struggle. I'm just saying.
Laura, you got to ask your husband. You got to ask your husband these questions too. See if he'll answer them. Laura, tell me at work tomorrow.
She'll come back and comment on the videos too. I'll be looking for her comments like she said. Because I like that different perspective from another culture.
Race.
Yes, because we see it. We grew up in diverse Black and Mexican, so we know a lot of what it looks like, but I don't want to disrespectfully speak out of turn. So I like when they come and they speak. Then I can say, no, it's them too. So that's why y'all go for whatever. Anyway, don't compare us. We tired. My head hurt now. Anyway, so we are going to get the guys on next week, and we are just going to let them talk. And I promise I'll be controlling the computer. I'll be controlling the show from my computer. So when Ro, as soon as she do like this, I'm going to hit the button real quick. Because we can't talk. That's the rule. We got to let them just talk.
I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave.
I was lying. I was lying. I might have to go up there. Shut up, Chester. I don't trust her, but we're gonna have the guys on because these particular guys, they speak with respect, and I trust their opinions, and they do tell their women what they want. So that's it. So next week, make sure you join. Oh, health tip. Oh, the health tip is
Yeah, I don't even got one
don't
today.
drive us nuts. Our mental health is extremely important. You
Oh no,
guys
I do have one.
things.
This month is mental health.
I'm being for real.
Yeah, no, this month is mental health month, so you need to wear your green in honor of mental health.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, don't drive us nuts because y'all contribute to the things that we go through. And women, stop driving these men nuts. If you got something to say, tone down your voice, take that bass out of your voice. And girl, I know, because it's hard for us, child.
Don't
We are
argue
very
back.
animated.
Don't argue back. Don't argue back.
Just listen and then let them finish. And when they finish, for the rest of the month, here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to come back with, you did this. And all of your strength, what I want you to find is the ability to just receive this month. Even if it's something you did in the midst and they did in the midst, only pull out what you did and figure out how you can be better. Because sometimes one of y'all got to lead and doing better, and it'll make the other one look really silly in the things they're doing. So they have to come along. So I'll say that women, we're going to try that this month. Well, y'all are. I've been trying it. Just pray for me, child.
Pray for me too. Everybody put me on y'all prayer list. Please.
Any words from you? I'm done with Ro. I'm tired of her.
Oh no, I do got something to say. Dang, I'm gonna put it on the thing because I need all y'all to vote for me.
Oh, so put it in the comments and I'll pin it to the top.
Yes, I need all y'all to vote for me. Yeah. I'm in this little mother challenge. I can't remember who put me in it. I really don't remember.
Okay.
But then I've just been doing it, and I was in second place, and I was in first place. Now I'm in third place. So this is the fourth round. And so I'm still there. It's the top 5. So I'm in the top 5. So tomorrow is the next cutoff. So I need everybody to vote for me so I can win and get a mother's getaway.
Can they vote more than once a day? Can I vote for each of my devices?
You can only vote once a day. They have free voting where you can vote once a day, and then they have voting where you can pay. But I don't want nobody to do the paying once until the end of it. If you just vote once a day and keep me in the top 5, I'll be fine.
But is it per email address? Is like that how it's attached?
Well, I'm gonna put it in the link, but you have to verify it if you have Facebook. If you don't verify it with Facebook, they want you to use a credit card, and that's when people think it's a scam. Most people still have Facebook, so they can still vote for me and verify through their Facebook.
Okay.
But I just need everybody to vote for me because I need a mother's getaway to Palm Springs, all expense paid, and then you win $20,000. Like, I just really need it. So I will hope all of you guys can just vote for me, please. Thank you.
Put me on your prayer list.
And put me on the top of your prayer list every day.
Boy, if you got a good heart, just pray for me.
Bueller.
Keep them to yourself.
She really needs a break. Baby, let me tell you. Okay, so we will see you next week, same time, same place. I will see you on Thursday for Thursday night turn up, and I will tell you that I will be in the house with my partner. So I will not be recording from here. I'll be recording from there, and I'll probably stick the camera in their face and bother them because I don't have nothing else to do. So that is it for me tonight. Thank you for joining us. Same time, same place next week. Only the man will talk. Not Ro or me. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Oh my God, I can't believe we're really not gonna talk. Jesus.